Hi, I'm Sophia Fracassi, and you're watching The Music Enthusiast.
Hi, what's up? I'm Sarah from Music Enthusiast, and today I'm here with Sophia Fracassi. How are you?
I'm good, Sarah. How are you?
So good. I am super, super pumped to be talking to you. Your voice is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank
Um,
you.
but before I fangirl enough, how's your day been so far?
It's been good. It was long. It was busy. I was working, but I'm so happy to be here talking to you.
Yeah, because you are a normal person. You still have a day job.
I do still have a day job. Don't quit your day job. Follow your dreams, but also don't quit your day job. Yeah, so that's what I did today, and now I get to do this, which is cool.
Yeah, and working day jobs absolutely sucks, in my opinion. So, how do you get past that sort of dreading feeling where it's like, oh my God, am I gonna stay here forever, or is something gonna happen?
That's a great question because
So absurd, but
I don't think I deal with it well. It depends on the day. Some days I'm like, it's great, take it day by day. I'm grateful for everything, and that's true. And then there are definitely other days where I'm like, this is never gonna end. But I do love where I work. Like, it is a wonderful place. So I'm grateful for all of it. But do I want to eventually be a full-time musician? Yes, that is the goal.
yeah. So you were vocally trained at a super young age. You grew up in a musical household, like both your parents made music. You wrote your first song at 9. How did that song go?
It was really cute. That's maybe conceited of me to say about my own song, but I think, like, looking back on it, it was very cute. I honestly, I'd been making up songs like for my entire life. They just probably didn't make any sense for a while. Like, I can remember forcing grandparents to stand as I made up a song on the spot. Like, I can remember one time, and I was like, why doesn't she vibe with this? It's because it was absolute no, made zero sense. But the first song that I actually wrote was called Your Love, and it was just this really cute about love and life, and I don't know, I don't fully remember how it went, but it was just a simple little tune. And then I brought it to my music teacher, and she helped me create a piano part for it, and I ended up getting to sing it at a concert, which was highlight of the year, biggest deal ever. And that's kind of where it started, and then I started seriously writing music when I was 14.
Mm-hmm. What's your fondest musical memory since you've been in writing music from the day you were born, practically?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot because I did I did a lot of competitive voice festivals and stuff like that when I was younger. So I have lots of fun memories from that. I got to go compete provincially, which was also really fun when I was younger. Honestly, one of my favorite memories is probably the first time that I got to step foot in a recording studio, which was back in 2019. I crowdfunded. I did a Kickstarter, and had so many wonderful, generous people donate so that I could go record some demos. And it was I didn't know if I was gonna like it. I'd always done music, but that was foreign to me.
Mhm.
And when I got in there, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. This feels so good and right to me. So yeah, I always think of that. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah, and signing to a record label in quarantine, what was that like?
It was so weird, actually. I mean, it was so exciting, but this weird, okay, this big moment. And then it was now what? Because the
Yeah.
entire world is shut down. How do we proceed? And I feel so grateful to my label for taking the chance on me, at all, let alone in the height of this pandemic where everyone was is music still a thing? Who knows? Will we ever perform ever again? So yeah, it was definitely very exciting, but also in a weird way anticlimactic, where I was I don't know what I'm gonna do now. And then slowly we were able to roll stuff out, which was wonderful.
And I was wondering like how they found you. Like, was it from your demos for this EP or was it for Lifeboat?
Yeah, so Lifeboat was like, yeah, the original like EP project that I like kickstarted, crowdfunded for. In my mind, I was like just going to independently release them, but then basically like right before I was going to I had no idea what I was doing. I don't know how I planned on doing it. I didn't understand anything about DSPs. Like I just like was just riding this happy wave of like, I just made music. And everyone was like, yes, you did. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And so yeah, so like I actually had a family member who knew Rob Laney, who is co-founder of Coalition, just like through work connections. And she like basically took this like mega long shot, and without telling me, sent the music that I'd like independently recorded to him.
Wow.
And like not really expecting anything like to come of it. Like she just was like, oh, I have the connection, I'll do it. And then I didn't find out until I got an email from him afterwards being like, oh, I'd love to chat. And I was like, excuse me, I think you're the wrong person. And so that was crazy. I can remember, and I just knew him as like Scott Hellman's manager, and I was like, I was a Scott Hellman fan, and I was like, this is crazy, I can't believe I just talked to him. It was so exciting. And now I'm signed with their label, which is just like crazy. It's so much fun.
Oh my god, I love Scott Hellman. I've been to like so many of his shows. Like,
really? Yeah, he's great. And he's like, I haven't gotten to meet him, but he like from what I've heard is just like a total sweetheart. Like just seems like such a nice guy.
He totally is. And I could picture a collab totally. Like that would be absolutely.
That would be so cool.
I would literally freak out. So Scott Hellman, if you're watching, like hello.
If for some reason you see this, is there
Exactly.
a collab in the future? Let me know.
Exactly.
We'll see.
And I want to talk about this EP obviously because it was just released and it's like your debut EP right now on Spotify. Well, first of all, the cover art, you're like in a prom dress, like running a marathon. So is that like sort of running away from your problems? Like what was sort of the idea for this?
I think like the general vision that I had, and I can remember like I came up with it and went to like tell my manager, and I was like, how do I even explain this? Is going to be so random. And I was like, okay, I have this vision, and it's like running on a marathon track, but in something that like is completely inappropriate for running a marathon, like a big dress or whatever, which is what we ended up going with. And I think the idea behind it was like being unprepared. So like, I mean, the general theme, I would say kind of like going throughout the EP, and the reason we decided, I mean, there is a track on it called Marathon, but the reason we decided to name the EP Marathon was just because sometimes that's like what life feels like. Yeah. And like, I don't mean it necessarily in a depressing way, because there's that like, you know, running a marathon can feel like triumphant too. Like, it's not just like, I have to keep running, but essentially it's like, no matter whether you're like highs or lows, you just have to keep going. Like that's just kind of how life is. Like keep trekking and doing your best. But I think often you can feel like so unprepared to keep going. Like how do I do this right now? And that was sort of where the idea of like the big dress came in, of like you're just going and you're not mentally or physically prepared. So yeah, that's kind of where that idea came from.
Yeah, I love it. And I love how like you're like sort of blurred too, so it looks like you're in motion as well. Like I don't know.
Yeah, well, it actually was so funny. Like it was we used a track at a school in Toronto, and it's like open to the public, so there were people like walking their dogs, and then there's just this girl in like this ball gown who just keeps running, like sprinting, but like for 5-second intervals, because she'd be like, okay, run, and then take the picture, and then I would like stop and like tromp back and do it again. It's like, I'm making a scene, but I'm used to it at this point, so you just have to not look at other people.
Oh my god, that's so much fun. And like, when did you start to make this EP? Because I know there's a few songs on this one that all tell a story altogether, but what was like the first song to be created for this album?
I think the funniest part about it is like we never 100% intended for these songs to end up as like one collection, as an EP. Like it wasn't like the goal from the get-go. Obviously, like that was a thought in mind, but we kind of had no idea how anything was going to go. So we just started releasing singles, and it kind of like unfolded into this story naturally. That is sort of like, I would just describe it like my own life for the past couple of years. I just started writing about it, and as I wrote about it, new things were happening, and then I would write about that. And it was just this like actual like real time releasing as I was going through things. And then it just turned into this project. But I think the first song, I mean, we started working on Somebody and Wish I Never Met You kind of like almost within like the 2 weeks of each other. And that was back at the beginning of 2020. So it took about, like all around, it was about 2 years of work, which is crazy.
I mean, it shows how much hard work was put into this, because like, again, your voice is absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah.
And like everything involved around it like literally creates like a sonic universe, and I absolutely love it. Like,
That's so nice. I love that.
it is stuck in my head right now, and I literally cannot get it out. But anyway.
I love it.
If you could describe this EP as an animal, which animal would it be and why?
Whoa. That's a question I've never gotten before. As an animal? Bro. Give me a second. I can answer all of your deep traumatic questions, but what animal is my EP? I feel, okay, this is going to be like kind of weird, but I just feel like it's like a fish. Like a fish of, I don't know exactly, like, but just like some kind of like fluid in motion. And like when you're a fish, yeah, like,
I know how that feels.
There's sometimes it's like smooth, and sometimes it's like, oh, I'm dodging a shark. That's what it feels like. Yeah, that's just the first thing that pops into my head. So maybe that's completely wrong, and I'm gonna get off and be like, why did I say a fish? That's so dumb.
I mean, it
Anyways,
makes sense. It's sort of
yeah, I think it, yeah, totally. Makes perfect.
And my last question for you is, who are your favorite artists right now?
Right now? Ooh, I'm really loving, I mean, I always have love, but I'm just loving how she's like rolling out her new album, Maggie Rogers. I think her new project comes out tonight, actually.
Yeah, it does. I'm really excited.
I just think like her content is so interesting and original. Who else am I loving? Sigrid. I don't know if you listened to Sigrid.
Oh my god, I love Sigrid. I've met her once in person.
You met her?
Yeah, like I waited outside for like hours because she's like one of my like top 5 ever.
Okay, yeah, so same. Yeah, no, like I absolutely love her. Like I think the way that she does pop music is so cool and interesting, and like her, especially for like I Want to Get Better Now, like her music was like a big inspiration for that track.
That's so cool.
And I also, do you listen to Dijon?
I do. I've seen him live.
Okay, I saw him this year. Was great. And yeah, I've been listening to, I feel like those are probably my top 3 right now.
That's amazing. And I feel like we should chat more about music, because I feel like our music taste is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the same vibes. That's good.
Yeah. But cool. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you. This was
so
great.
much fun. And your EP is an absolute masterpiece.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to see this when it comes out.